Hi everybody, welcome back to retail management class. In previous class, we have seen different service, retail service, quality uh, models. In that, we have discussed three-dimensional models, and we have also discussed gap model. Okay, in that we have also seen five different kind of gaps, and using those models a manager can identify his problems, and he can problems of the customer, and he can easily maintain the customer loyalty for long period of time, and he can lead successfully, he can lead his business in the retail industry. So in today's class, let us discuss the retail supply chain management. Okay, so let us have a discussion of retail supply chain management. So well, you must be knowing what is supply chain management. Okay, so when a product is said to be ready, it has to be passed to different stages, right? So it has to be manufactured. In manufacture only we can say, so in order to manufacture a product, in order to get a finished product, we have to use raw materials, right? So we have to get the raw materials from different suppliers, then converting, you have to convert raw materials into uh, unfinished product. Then then after that you have to convert into finished product. Okay, and finally you get the finished one after converting raw materials into unfinished, again semi finished. After that you'll get a finished product. Then once you have finished product, then you have to distribute, you have to store that products. Then you have to search your distribution channels. Again, after distributing your product, you will have to make sure that whether the product is reached to the end customers in a good way or not. Okay, so then again, uh, if the consumer is happy with your product, if the consumption level is good, then there, as a manufacturer, you will be satisfied, right? So here, the retail supply chain management, it is all about, it's a kind of systematic activities which involved in the movement of product or service from the supplier till the end users or till the end consumer. Okay, so here the activities which will be involved from the manufacturing process till the consumption level. Okay, and you know that here a supplier will be involved who supply the products, so who supply the raw materials, then manufacturer will be involved. Again, manufacturer will get the supply, raw materials from the supplier. Again, he will convert that into finished product. Then he will, manufacturer will pass his product to different, distribution channels, maybe for the wholesaler. Again, from the wholesaler you will have retailers. Again, from the retailers you have you have end users or the end consumer. Or maybe you can directly have the moment, you can directly deliver your product from from the manufacturer till to the direct consumer. You can have even without having retail and without having wholesale, with certain shipment methods, with certain storage or warehouse facilities that we can see in the online shopping majorly, right? So here, retail supply chain management, it's a system of organizations, people, and activities and informations and resources. So all these will be involved in moving a product or service from supplier to customer, as I told. And here supply chain activities which transform natural resources, and like natural resources which mainly transform or convert natural resources, raw materials, and components into a finished product that is delivered to the end customer. And here, supply chain management is concerned with the management of flow of goods, flow of cash. It's not only you are just moving the goods. Here, you also moving the cash, the flow of cash and flow of information about the product, as well as your the cash. Yeah, it can be internally and it can be externally of company, or maybe a group of a company that share the same value chain, right? And here it includes the movement and the storage of raw materials, work in progress, inventory, and finished goods from origin to point of consumption. As I told here, you will have the activities or the movement from the storage of raw materials. After that, you'll convert again, you will get finished product, again you have to store, again you have to uh, deliver that product to the end consumption. And here uh, the retail supply chain management, it is defined as, like, it is a design, planning, execution, control, and monitoring of supply chain activities with the objective of creating value to the customers. Okay, so here it is defined as to design, planning. Okay, it's a kind of designing, it's a kind of planning, it's a kind of execution, and you're controlling and monitoring the supply chain activities. Okay, here the supply chain activities which totally involves your your conversion of you're buying the raw materials and storing of raw materials, and converting the uh, raw materials into finished product, and again you will have to distribute. So all these activities, we can say that supply chain. Yes, so here it's all about your planning, your executing, and your controlling, and your monitoring the supply chain activities. So with the aim of creating the value to the customer. Okay, so you're trying to create some, you're promote, you're trying to promote and create some value, to the customer. So now to satisfy them, you're coming up with the product, you're trying to fulfill their needs. Okay, so by satisfying them. Okay, and here also you're building a competitive infrastructure, and maybe having the warehouse facility or logistics facility. Okay, so this is all we can say that the activities of retail supply chain management. And here uh, the parts of supply chain, mainly we can say that there are three parts, that is supply, manufacturing, and distribution. Okay, so here the parts of supply chain includes supply, manufacturing, distribution. So here talking about supply, a supply, it focuses on the raw materials which is supplied to manufacturing, including how to uh, transfer, how to supply the raw materials, and when to supply the raw materials, and from what location you are getting the raw materials. Okay, so all these things will be included in the supply chain, right? Suppose if you're manufacturing a car, so you have to get the different components or different parts of the the vehicle or the car, maybe from different countries. Maybe you have you may require to import different technologies or different spare parts from different countries or different places. And it is required when you're going to when you have a need, right? So when there is a requirement of having the spare parts or the technology, that time you're going to import, right? So that we can say it's a kind of you're receiving the spare parts, receiving the raw materials. Okay, again after that, you have to manufacture. Okay, so here the second part is your that manufacturing process. So here, so once you get the product, once you get the raw materials, the natural resources, then you have to execute it. That means you have to, you know, assemble it. So once you get the spare parts of a vehicle, then you have to assemble that, right? So after assembling, you will get a ready product, so you will get a finished product. Okay, so here it can be anything that there are a lot of products which all the products, almost all the products which has to be passed three different stages, that is conversion of raw materials into semi-finished product. Then after you have to convert semi-finished product into finished one, like I can say raw material stage. In conversion of raw material stage, then you will have work in progress again. At the last stage you have finished product. Okay, so talking about the next part, that is distribution. So here, once the product is ready, then you have to distribute it, right? So maybe it focuses on ensuring these products reach the customers through an organized network of distributions. Okay, so you have to see to it that whether the product is going to reach the consumers or not. Or maybe so you're trying to reach the customer, you're trying to deliver the products to the customer in an organized network of distribution. Maybe as I told, maybe you can use wholesaler, retailers, okay, or maybe different middlemen, and by having the warehouse facilities. Okay, so all these are the network. Okay, and talking about the objectives of supply chain management, to provide an uninterrupted flow of goods and service. Here we know that when we have a regular supply, we can easily have the easily we can manufacture product, and we can make a finished product, and we can easily deliver them, right? If we have a proper supply chain management, right? If we have a good supplier, if we have a manufacturer, if we have a you know right distribution channel, then easily we can move the product or the services easily, right? Maybe from the manufacturing, or maybe from supplying supply of raw materials stage till the consumption stage. So if we have a ready you know ready raw materials, okay, then we can easily have the production process. Again, we can easily deliver the finished product to the end users, right? This is how this help us to provide, okay, the main objective of the supply chain management here is that to provide an uninterrupted flow of goods and services. Okay, then to meet the quality criteria, yes, that is also one of the objective. So in order to meet the quality of the product or the services, we need definitely retail supply chain management. Then to reduce the inventory investment to extent the possible, yes, so here it helps us to provide the the proper warehouse or the storage facility. Okay, so here by having the storage facility, proper storage facility, we can keep our product, we can store a product for a long period of time. That is how we can reduce the inventory investment to extent the possible. And talking about the next objective, that is to offer high customer service and low inventory management, and low unit cost, yes. So when there will be a regular movement of goods, okay, how it is possible, we can say regular movement. So here, when we have a proper supply chains, right, when we have a proper distribution channel, and when we have a manufacturer, and when we have a end user, right? So there we can easily have we can easily provide the customer the high customer service, and easily we can fulfill their needs by having a ready product. And also here we can store the product, right? So we can have the storage facility, so by we can keep our the product ready products easily. Whenever there is a demand for the product, easily we can serve them easily, we can deliver the products to the customers, right? So that is only possible with the help of warehouse or the storage facility or the logistics system, I can say. Okay, so here that is only possible if we having the proper supply chain management. Again, the next objective here to ensure quick responsiveness to the customer changes. Yes, so if there is a demand, there's a change in the demand of the consumer, if there is a change in the need of the consumer, easily we can make the quick response, easily we can respond to their changes, right? Because by having the storage facility, and easily we will get to know that when there is a demand, there is more demand for the product, we can easily serve them because we have already kept some of the stock in the storage house, right? That is how we can easily make quick response to their changes. Okay, suppose if there is a low demand, if the product is not moving much, then we can automatically we can the produce the we can automatically reduce the production of the product, right? So that is only possible with the help of retail supply chain management. And also to select and to maintain the competent supplier. Okay, so by having the retail supply chain management, we can also select the regular suppliers to our products. Okay, these are the objectives of supply chain management. So I hope you have already studied this concept, supply chain management, in last semester, because you had already a subject. Okay, so talking about the next aspect in this, that is components of retail supply chain management. Here talking about the first component, that is planning. Here you know that before you manufacture any product, you have to plan, you have to make a proper planning, right? So, or you have to frame a strategy, because that must be developed. Whatever plan you have, that has to be developed, and to address the needs of the customer, right? So here you have to make the planning, so that what product you are going to produce or what service you're going to produce. So you have to make all this planning, so only to address, only to fulfill the needs of the consumer. So how will you get to know the needs of the consumer? So here you have to focus on the the market strategy or market study or the market survey, that will be helpful to you to identify the needs or the current trends of the market, that what customers prefer, or you have to understand the changing demands of the customer too, right? That is how only possible with the help of market survey or the market research. So here first thing you have to make is that you have to make a proper planning, or you have to set the strategy. Okay, and yes, that what you're gonna produce. The next component it is that sources. So here sources, that you have to see the different source of supply for product, supply of the raw materials. Okay, so here once you decide with the product, once you have the plan of have starting the manufacturing a product, then you have to search the resources or the sources where you get the raw materials or the natural resources easily. Okay, you have to see the convenient of the raw materials. Okay, and you have to see the the transportation facility, whether it is near, okay, how far it is, okay, whether you get the regular supply of sources of raw materials or not. Okay, so here this component which involves building a strong relationship with the suppliers of the raw materials that needed to make the product of the company, right? So here you have to build a strong relationship with the supplier of the raw materials. But in first component in the planning process or the planning component, there you should make a proper understanding of the customer needs. Then here in sources you have to build a strong relationship, you have to maintain a strong relationship with the suppliers of the raw materials. Once you find the source of raw materials, that where you get the raw materials, then the next part is that you have to manufacture. That means you have to assemble it, you have to make the product. Next component is making it. Here this section, this is the manufacturing section of the supply chain management. Okay, here the product is manufactured. Okay, then after the manufacturing you have to make the sample testing, then you have to pack that product. Again you have to make sure that it is ready for the delivery of the product, it is ready for the distribution of the product. So here the next part is delivering. So here this component in supply chain management is logical and logistical and which involves the company creating the warehouse networks and coordinating the receipt of orders from customers and deciding on the transportation and shipment methods and setting up invoices to receive payment, right? So here in delivering process, you know that it's all about the distribution channels. Okay, so what distribution channels you're gonna have? You're gonna choose like the networking, the network of distributions. Okay, and you have to create warehouse facilities, and you have to see to it that whether you're having the orders. Okay, you have to coordinate the receipt of orders from the customers. Okay, and you have to decide the transportation, like how you're going to transfer the product delivery, then the shipment method. Okay, and also like how you can set up the procedure for the payment of from the customer. Okay, so here we can notice nowadays companies are using different software like ERP and RFID, okay, and 3PL. So all these are software they can make automatic. Okay, they can manage automatic inventory. Okay, of automatic inventory software which help them to maintain and retain the products. Okay, product supply. And talking about the next, so once the product is being delivered to the customer, then the next step is returning. So here in returning part, this is the final one. Here the service oriented part of the supply chain. Okay, so in this component, the company tries to create a network that is responsible for receiving defective products or the excessive amounts of them, as well as maintaining the original products sent to the customer. Okay, so here you will be set up part. Okay, or you'll set up a network where they are responsible for receiving the complaints or receiving the defective products or the excessive amounts. Okay, any complaints regarding the products. Okay, of a customer. Here you have to see to it that whether the product is delivered to the customer, or whether they have got the proper the original product or not. Okay, if it is not, then definitely you will get a defective one. Then whether you can try to replace the product, or you can repay the amount. So you have to set a network here. Your retail supply chain is the process you use to get your products to your consumer. It encompasses everything from obtaining the raw materials to make your product to delivering that product into your shopper's hands, right? Supply chain, retail supply chain management, therefore, is how you optimize those processes to maximize both speed and efficiency, and you should deliver your product into a customer's hands as fast you can. And however, you don't want to pay huge amounts to do these activities. You must optimize your process to be efficient and affordable as you can manage. And there are many retailers, they use shipping software like 3PLs, ERP, okay, and and integration companies to automate their process so that they can increase the efficiency. Well, because you know that the customers, they or the shoppers, they before they purchase any product, they will just make a research and in online, and they will compare the products and process before they purchasing, right? So here online shoppers thoroughly research and they compare the products and process before they purchase. And according to NRF, okay, and according to NRF, 65% of the consumer, okay, they say they look up free shipping, threshold before adding items to their online shopping carts. Okay, this is all about something that automatic software they have in their you know supply chain management. Okay, so you can see there are a lot of shoppers like online shoppers, without having the retailers, with the having with the help of software, they're easily delivering the products, right? So when we talk about online shopping, okay, so here almost people are search different products and they compare the different websites, then finally they will order the product, right? So here there is a survey which has done by NRF. According to that, like 65% of the consumers say that they look up free they look up for free shipping products before adding items to their online shopping carts. And for the 39%, they expect 2-day shipping to be free, and if you don't offer it, consumers will shop somewhere else. Okay, and 29% of consumers have backed out of a purchase because 2-day shipping was not free. Okay, so here the retailers of all sizes are falling short on meeting customers' expectations. So those who provide the best shipping experience will see a big impact on their cost and will gain a competitive advantage. And if you're looking for a way to stand out in your competitive retail space, your fulfillment process and ability to deliver can set you apart from the others. Okay, so I hope you understood, you are clear with the concept. If you have any doubt, please post your comments below, and thank you for watching it.